Hey YouTube, my name is Alton. I want to share a prophetic dream, which I think is a prophetic dream that I had last night. And whenever I sleep, I don't usually dream often, but when I do, it doesn't really shake me up as much as this one did last night. Um, the dream starts out, let me start off first by saying that a lot of other things happen in the dream, but I don't think it was really that significant to basically the end part of the dream. Um, but basically, the parts that I can remember that I think are significant to the dream was that, in my profession, I'm a repair guy. I go to people's homes and I, fix things, kind of like a handyman type person. Um, so I had this dream. I was in this house, and I think I may have been doing some handyman work or something, but I don't remember actually repairing anything. I just remember there was me and another guy um, inside of this home, and there were a lot of guns, like like assault rifles, like war type guns inside of this home. They were all laying on the floor, and they had been tagged by the government or like the FBI, And I remember when I first walked into the home, I asked the other maintenance guy who was there. I asked him. I said, "Hey, someone getting ready to start a war, kind of in a joking manner." And he said, no, he said, the owner is, he just up and vanished, like he's just not here, the house was vacant, but, like the furniture and everything was still inside of the house. It was like a lot of old antique furniture, along with these assault rifles. So, um, and I just remember, I walked outside of the home and I looked up in the sky, and there were like a lot of moons in the sky. Like just, like so many moons. And if I had to guess the amount of moons, it had to be seven, you know. And there were like seven moons in the sky. There was one big moon, and then there were other smaller moons surrounding it. But none of these other moons were, you know, they were not equal in size, but they were all smaller than this one big moon. But like I said, the other six, they were just other sizes. Some were smaller than others, some were bigger than others, but none of them were equal in size. And I remember that I took out my phone because I wanted to Instagram it. And I wanted to really place it on Instagram because I was like, man, to have all of these moons in the sky all at once, like this is like something, like something weird, because our planet only has one moon. So to see around seven of these moons, in the sky, it was very weird. And and I remember while I was in the middle of trying to get, a a good clean shot of these moons in the sky, I noticed that there was another planet moving in orbit of the Earth, and it was moving across the sky pretty fast. And I looked at it and I was like, wow, like that is, such a beautiful planet, because it looks similar to Earth. I can see the clouds moving on the planet, and the water was so blue. It was just like blue. Almost like a royal blue. The water. It was just a beautiful planet, and I thought it was maybe like like Neptune, or one of the other planets in the solar system. But I said no. I said this one has clouds and it looks like it has water on it. But I thought it was very odd and I thought it was very strange. And at that moment in my dream, I think I kind of realized what was happening, because people started to scream, and because the planet was moving very close to the Earth, like it was going to slam into it, and people started screaming. They was like, "Oh my God!" It's going to hit the planet, and there were just a lot of people screaming. And when the planet looked like it slammed into the Earth, it had to be like many miles away, but I can see it, actually going down over the horizon. And when it hit, I saw a big flash of light. like a nuclear bomb had gone off. And when that happened, I could just hear people just screaming, I guess because of the heat, from the heat and from the pain. And I just watched that heat wave just come in my direction. And when it got to me, I just remember closing my eyes and just, feeling the heat, I guess from the impact of the planet. But it wasn't a heat that I felt that was actually painful. It wasn't painful, but I mean, I felt it. It was pretty warm, but it wasn't painful. And I just knew that around me, it was just this big blinding light, like, um, like everything was just being incinerated. And I just remember just seeing this big flash of light, and then after that, everything just kind of went dark. And when everything went dark, these words started flashing in my dream. They were just flashing by fast. And I think I remember a few of the words. One of the words was knowledge. Another one was effectiveness. And the last one that I can remember was courage. Those were the three words that I remember. But like I said, they were words of positiveness. It was just a lot of positive words being flashed. And after that, I woke up, and I had to sit up because my heart was beating so fast. And I began to get a headache because I was laying down. I had to sit up, because the dream really shook me up. But it was just a dream that I felt like that, it was a prophetic dream. And it may not have been, but what I can take from the dream was that planet symbolized Christ coming to establish his kingdom on earth, destroying the kingdom, this old kingdom, all the kingdoms on this earth, all the nations on this earth. He came to destroy all of those and set up his own kingdom on earth. But the seven moons, I'm really going to have to really get into my Bible study to see what does that symbolize. Like I said, there was one big moon and there were other little moons surrounding it. But none of the other moons were as big as as the huge moon, and none of them were the same size in comparison. None of them were the same size. They were all just, different size moons. But anyway, if you guys have any comments on what you think it may have meant, just let me know. Comment and please share it. Let me know what you guys think. All right, thanks.